Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Ramadan Recipes. We'll be making some simple dishes for your sehri and for your iftar. Today you can join me to make some pistachio kulfi. So here are the ingredients for the pistachio kulfi. We have the chopped pistachio nuts, the caster sugar, the whole milk, which you can use evaporated milk if you want to make it quicker, and also the green cardamom seeds here. So to make the pistachio kulfi, we're going to be making sure that we take a heavy pan, place it over the stove, and then we're going to be adding the milk. So we add the whole milk, but you can actually use evaporated milk, and that's something you want to make quicker. And then you would actually bring that to the boil, like this. So we raise the heat to bring that to the boil, and also give it a stir whilst you're doing that. So while this is making sure it's becoming thicker, I'm going to give you a bit more of information about the dish itself. So this is actually a Himalayan dessert, and it's actually brought into the Indian subcontinent by the Mughal Empire and eaten by the royals themselves. So it's not something that was for every man, it was actually for the royals. But later on it became more of an everyman dish. So it was actually eaten during Ramadan itself and during Sehri, and also during Eid and Iftar. So it's not just for everyday use, it's more for celebrations. So we're going to leave that for 40 minutes, give it a stir occasionally until it's boiled and then reduced to about half its original amount. So now that it's come to the boil, we're going to be reducing the heat to a low simmer and leaving it for 40 minutes so that the consistency becomes half the original amount and quite thick. So the milk has now become thicker, and we're going to be adding the rest of the ingredients. So firstly, I'm going to add in the chopped pistachio nuts, like this, and then the caster sugar. Give it a stir, and then add the cardamom seeds. So we'll be cooking that on a low heat until the sugar is dissolved and all the flavours of the cardamom seeds and the nuts are infused into the milk mixture. So now the milk is thickened, and we're going to be putting it into some ramekin moulds or some kulfi moulds. So I'm going to bring this pan over to here, and each kulfi mould I'm going to be adding in an equal amount of the kulfi mixture, just like so. So just to let you know that also kulfi can be put into a large mould, and that actually creates a really nice centerpiece. So you don't have to put it into individual moulds. You can garnish it with other things like glacé cherries or with blanched almonds as well. It looks really pretty with glacé cherries and adds a bit of colour as well. You can also actually scatter some pomegranate seeds on top. It looks very, very pretty. So the kulfi's been put into the ramekin moulds or the kulfi moulds, and I'm going to put it into the freezer for at least 2 to 6 hours or overnight until they set. Has quite a lot of nutritional value despite the ingredients not seeming so. So just by looking at the ingredients you might think it's full of high fat. However, during Ramadan you need that energy just to sustain yourselves during the fasting period. So the nuts in this actually have a lot of protein. Now if you're allergic to nuts, I would avoid using them altogether. You can have malai kulfi, which is without nuts itself. You can also add in mango instead of nuts. So the milk also contains a lot of protein that adds a lot of energy, and it gives you an energy boost throughout the day and keeps you going. Let's have a reminder of the ingredients for pistachio kulfi. So let's go over the instructions for making pistachio kulfi. Pour the milk into a wide, heavy pan and bring to the boil over a high heat while stirring constantly. Now lower the heat and cook the milk, still stirring, until it's thickened and reduced to about half the amount. This is going to take about 40 minutes. If you're using evaporated milk, it might take a shorter time. So add the sugar and the nuts and the cardamom seeds and stir well, and then allow to cool. Pour the mixture into kulfi molds or small ramekin dishes, distributing everything evenly, and then cover with plastic wrap or foil and freeze until set in a freezer. This may take up to 2 to 6 hours, or you can actually leave it overnight in the freezer. To serve, you can leave the kulfi in the molds and then garnish with some chopped pistachio nuts. I hope you enjoyed making this pistachio kulfi with me today. Make sure you try it at home for your iftar and join me for more recipes.